Welcome to the View+Finders Podcast presented by FrameRate Technologies. I'm Sam McQueen. I'm here with Vaughn Juares, and we are discussing quality and connectivity in the underserved markets and how that is oftentimes the inverse of what we find in a mainstream market. Vaughn, when it comes to quality in terms of the stream in an underserved market, what have the findings been around fine-tuning that exact quality of the stream?
What really matters to people in these markets, because they really aren't getting a lot of material in there, isn't really the quality of the visuals or the quality of the stream. It doesn't really matter a lot. That's not just true in underserved markets like corrections. It's true in the mainstream market. With the advent of cell phones and mobile recording, the quality of what it takes to get something on television has dramatically dropped. When I started in TV and media years ago, and I won't say how many, but there was really specific quality standards that everything had to hit, or it simply wouldn't be allowed on television. Now, those standards have been completely thrown out the door. People are using mobile phones, they're using low quality connections, and this stuff's ending up on television, and not just television, NBC, ABC, CNN. And of course, there's the high quality production and all that, but it's spiced up with on the street, eyewitness videos and so forth. Before that wouldn't even have been allowed. And now it's not just allowed, but it's common. And people are not demanding higher quality despite the technological advances that allow you to have that quality. Simply put, viewers don't care. And that's been a trend. In the markets that we serve, for example, low bandwidth areas, you're going to have quality that's going to suffer. But what matters most isn't the picture, but what does the picture say? What is the media and how does it connect to the viewer? That is always more important. So in other words, story matters.
Yeah, on a technical side, when talking about connectivity in general, but especially in low bandwidth areas, it is a fine line, but the priority is from an emotional and storytelling standpoint, yes, but from a technical standpoint as well, is to be able to have that connectivity. Audiences would much rather watch a lower quality but solid stream as opposed to a super high def but buffering every 5 to 10 seconds choppy stream. It makes the viewing experience basically unwatchable. We focus on the connectivity side of it to preserve that viewing experience from a start to finish and allow for a as close to perfect viewing experience as we can provide.
To further that, the quality of the image notwithstanding has to be consistent. So what's worse than a blurry image or something that's pixelated would be a complete interruption of the story. It takes you away from what you're watching. It interrupts the experience. So absolutely, that's true. In corrections and remote locations, gold mines, or anything out there, these developing countries, for example, that we've worked in, such as the Philippines, Malaysia, and Indonesia, where you're relying on oftentimes outdated or insufficient mobile networks, you have issues where that connectivity is so key. And most viewers, in fact, all, I think, would rather not have an interrupted experience because there's nothing worse than watching something and it just starts buffering. So that is absolutely true. And we're really focused on building technology that meets those standards, that can deliver the highest quality possible experience with the best possible quality content in these really remote and underserved areas. So that's one of the things we prioritize a lot.
Yes, absolutely. As I said before, it is that towing that absolute fine line, but what we've found is the through line of that viewing experience from start to finish. That is the thing that is the most important to those viewers, and allowing for that and stepping our technology or stepping the stream upwards, downwards, toying with it to get that perfect experience for those customers. We found the greatest success in that because we notice they'll keep coming back. If we can guarantee them that they're able from start to finish to view that content, then they'll keep coming back for more.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks a lot, Sam. You've been listening to the View+Finders podcast from FrameRate. Thanks for listening.